Mike Coppinger here with Ring Magazine. We're here in New York City with Hamzah Sheeraz. He's going to make a 168-pound debut.
Yep.
Just in a few days now on Saturday against Edgar Berlanga. Hamzah Berlanga's been talking a lot of trash.
Yep.
Been trying to get in your head.
Yep.
Is it working?
No, not really. Not really. It's different for sure, but it's what we expected. So yeah, nothing different.
And do you think this is real confidence? Is he insecure? What are you feeling from him?
I think it's just how he psychs himself up for a fight. It is what it is. It's what he does. So like I said, it was expected, but it was more how I was going to react on the receiving end of it, and I'm just doing me, to be fair.
Like we said, first fight at 168 pounds. We see you right here. You're a big guy.
Yeah.
How much different do you feel now, a few days out, fighting at 168 versus when you fight at 160?
Yeah, it's a lot better because there's no stress for that cut that's coming up. Do you know what I mean? There's not that much stress. And you're just chilled. You've done all the hard work, and now this now until fight night, just about enjoying it, really, soaking it all up. I've been here plenty of times before, and yeah, just another day in the office.
Tell us, what can you eat now, or maybe more of, that you really enjoy that you couldn't before?
But anything really, anything. But it's more the cut. It's more the cut that I have to do. That's less, and like I said, it's not a stress anymore mentally. So before I was kind of having the battle with the scales before the fight. Now I can just concentrate on the fight.
All right, so more weightlifting, or is there anything you're doing to add more muscle?
Not really, because I'm big enough as it is anyway. So I was naturally big enough for 168 pounds. So yeah, it was just a lot more smooth sailing this camp.
Who do you believe will be the bigger, stronger guy on fight night? We've seen Berlanga. He looked like he was walking around about 210 last time, right?
Yeah, no, he'll probably be the bigger guy, but I'll be the stronger guy. So it's as simple as that. I think over the years, this whole thing of being heavy on fight night has been glorified to work in your advantage, but not really.
As you know, there's been a lot of talk about who should be the last fight. Obviously, there's two main events, but who should headline and close the show? It's going to be you and Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah.
Why was that the right choice?
Because I think, Shakur is a generational talent. He's an exceptional fighter, one of the best. But I think when it comes to these shows, boxing fans and public, they want to see the brutality of the sport, and I think you got a better chance of seeing that in myself versus Berlanga.
You're coming off your first blemish, we'll say. It was a draw with Carlos Adames. That was a middleweight title fight, your first title fight. I'm imagining that was a great experience for you. How much better do you think you are now after that experience?
Yeah, definitely more experience. So I can say I've been in there, and it's not kind of the question you'd ask yourself before that fight, can I go for it? Can I do the 12 rounds? Am I on this level? And listen, I've been there, so now I'm a lot more calm. I'm a lot more happier, to be fair.
You're happier?
Yep, a lot more happier. Whether that's moving up or whether that's the change I've made in the team, I think it's a mix of everything, to be fair.
Yeah, before you were training with Buddy McGirt, right, in Los Angeles?
With Ricky Funes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, and now you're training in Dublin with Andy Lee, former champion.
Yep.
You know, Andy's a great trainer. What would you say is the one thing that Andy's really instilled into your camp?
Just to be sure about what you do, and keep things simple, to be fair, because some fighters can get to a level and start complicating things. But if you know how to use what you got and use it to your advantage, you'll be in a pretty good place.
How do you believe it helps you too, having a trainer in your corner that's fought on the top stage like yourself?
It's reassuring because they've been there before. Do you know what I mean? It's not new territory to them. They know how they're gonna behave. Like I said, it's not new territory for me or for him either. So once you've been there before, you know how to do it again.
Your last fight against Carlos Adames, doesn't really speak much English, quiet guy anyway.
Yeah, it is the complete opposite.
Yeah, the complete opposite.
I prefer it, to be fair. I prefer it because there's been a lot more views, there's been a lot more public interest. So, yeah, and a lot more expectation of the fight. So, yeah, I definitely prefer it.
I know it's a sport at the end of the day, and you don't have to hate your opponent or dislike your opponent, but does it help a little bit to have the extra edge of this guy running his mouth and saying he's going to do this and do that?
Not really, because I'm not emotionally involved in this fight. I think the minute I am is the minute I play into his advantage. So, listen, at the end of the day, we're there to do a job, and that's the main thing.
You know, we know you can punch at 160 pounds, and you know, you're a boxing fan, you're a student of the game. We've seen it over the years. Some guys go up in weight and they lose their power, and some guys gain more power.
Yep.
For you, what are we going to see?
There's only one way to find out, isn't it? There's only one way to find out, and Saturday night we find out.
What about in sparring now?
Sparring's been good. It's been good. I've been sparring a lot more heavier guys. So if I do what I've been doing in sparring in the fight, I'll be fine.
And Berlanga, we know how he's going to come, right? He's going to come probably right at you. I imagine, in my eyes, you have to keep this fight long, use your jab, use your feet.
Yep.
How do you see the fight playing out?
It all depends really how fired up he is on fight night. But I know what I got to do. I know what I got to do, and it's all about just playing the fight in your head before you actually get in there. So that's what we'll do this week, and then make it happen Saturday night.
Berlanga, as you know, he's been saying he's the king of New York, that he's going to have all these fans.
Yeah.
Do you think it's actually going to be hostile for you, or no?
No, not really. Not really. I'll be honest with you. Not really. I feel like it's he thinks that it's like it's an illusion. But yeah, Saturday night I become the king of New York.
And Berlanga's been saying that also he has the experience now of going 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. You saw the fight. What was your take on it?
I think in his head it's a completely different fight to actually what happened. Do you know what I mean? Actually what happened. But listen, his credit where it's due. He done what he had to do. He didn't get stopped. And he's got that experience in the bag at the end of the day, so that gives him confidence going into this fight. But that plays into my advantage.
And we know Turki Al-Sheikh said it, right? If you win this fight, Canelo Alvarez is out there for next year in Riyadh. How much more does that motivate you?
Yeah, that's massive added motivation. But in all honesty, I don't think about that. I learned from my last fight the mistakes. The buck stops this Saturday night with Edgar Berlanga, and then we move on from there.
All right, when the fight is over and your hand is raised or his hand is raised,
yep.
Is this fight going the distance?
No, I honestly don't believe it goes the distance. But if it does, we're ready for that.
All right, Hamzah, really appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to Saturday.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.